The Arcturians. Channeled through Marilyn Raphael. July 5, 2015. The Arcturians.
Greetings once again, dear ones. We wish to explain that because so much is happening on the deeper levels, you must be prepared for changes that will soon manifest on Earth in many areas. Increasingly intense energies of transformation and clearing are bringing about physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual change not only for individuals, but also for Gaia, who is a living soul and not a piece of dirt. This information is not given to cause fear, but simply to help you to understand that certain events are vital and necessary in order for mankind to evolve. Know that always, those involved in Earth events have agreed on the deeper levels to be a part of the experience. Never forget that you are not simply flesh and blood bodies living on a physical planet. The time is long past due for mankind to understand, accept responsibility, and correct the damage reaped upon Gaia and all her life forms in the name of greed. As more and more people awaken, change is inevitable, but it often takes a catastrophe or some devastating event for people to even question these things, and the question is money worth the continual destruction of life, including air and water? As changes take place on Earth, learn to flow with them, not resisting or struggling to keep the status quo in the belief that the good old days were better. The United States is celebrating a holiday of freedom at this time. Do you truly understand freedom? Or do you continue to believe what you are told about how free you are? Look around you, dear ones, and observe how society has gradually allowed itself to be deprived of multiple freedoms under the guise of keeping you safe. Fear is an effective means of control. You need these rules in order to be safe, don't you? It is a new time. Question everything you have heretofore accepted without question in the belief that anyone in authority must know what is best for you. You are at a point in your evolutionary journey at which you must reclaim the power and trust you ignorantly gave away. Start by learning to trust your inner guidance and no longer acting as lemmings blindly following a just as blind leader over the cliff. It is time for peoples of all countries to stop waving flags and shouting, "My country, right or wrong, my country." It is time to move into a consciousness of the oneness of all people. It is a new time. As a result of many lifetimes lived in the third-dimensional energy of duality and separation, a universal ignorance of oneness became the consensus consciousness of mankind. This sense of separation manifests outwardly as the haves and have-nots of the world, some with power, intelligence, and strength and some without. This belief system continues today, allowing those with the most money or strength to control everyone else. Up to now most have simply accepted this. There are still many people who have need for rules and laws and someone to tell them how to live. But for all awakening souls, it is a new time. Pause and think before voting for the individual with the loudest voice promising exactly what you want to hear. Question, ponder, and most importantly, go within to experience the resonance of the state of consciousness of the candidate. Feel their energy, listen to the spaces between the words, trusting your intuition to guide you. This is how you begin to reclaim your innate power and move past the hype and noise created by those who would be in power. This will create a true democracy, which was the intention of the Founding Fathers for the United States. The United States was founded on deep spiritual principles which over time have been manipulated for personal agendas and allowed to deteriorate from their original high-resonating focus. When personal religious beliefs and narrow concepts are allowed to determine laws affecting all but benefiting the few, true freedom is lost and the ideals of a Declaration of Independence no longer exist. Many still hold ideas of war with pride. We too honor those who selflessly sacrificed themselves because these brave souls were living out from their highest sense of right. Living out from your highest sense of right is all that is required of anyone. This way of resolving issues has been the consciousness of the world in the past and now. However, it is a new time. There is a popular saying, freedom is not free. Freedom is free. It is the sense of separation and wars that act to prevent it. Violence can never and will never bring peace. They are two very separate energies. You are ready to experience true freedom, dear ones. the freedom that has been ever present as your innate birthright and can never be taken from you, for it is who you are. However, freedom can only manifest from a state of consciousness that knows who and what it is, not who and what it has been told it is. You are not meant to live according to the whims of corporations, organized religions, and big government. You are the corporations, religions, and government if you choose to be. This does not mean you must stand in the street shouting and protesting, for often this simply gives an issue more power, not less. It does mean that silently, secretly, and quietly, you begin to trust your ability to make your own choices regarding what you believe. It means working for change, questioning, pondering, going within, and then taking whatever actions you may be guided to take, which may simply be to send light. It means choosing not to limit yourselves to the acceptable beliefs of the third-dimensional belief system. Spirituality cannot be separated from daily living, for it is one and the same, but the world in general does not yet understand this. God cannot be prayed to for victory of one group over another. There is only one. Bring your highest level of spiritual awareness to every physical, emotional, and mental activity of daily living, and you will find more awareness is given, for you have opened the door. Realize that true freedom can only be experienced personally and globally when there evolves a consciousness that all people and all living things are divine and one within the universal consciousness many call God. Freedom is your soul, your identity, the reality of you as spiritual beings. You can never be separated from it unless you believe you can be. It does not look that way because at this time the world is manifesting a gross ignorance of this. Freedom is the essence of your very being, and as this awareness becomes a global state of consciousness, it will manifest outwardly as the peace so many seek, while yet believing that war and separation will bring peace. Celebrate the birth of your country, dear ones, but never forget the real focus and intention that brought it into being. The event of independence that you celebrate on the 4th of July is not finished, but only represents the first layer of many evolutionary steps necessary for mankind to evolve into a consciousness of real freedom. This message is given as always, with love for you, our sisters and brothers. We are the Arcturian group.